So tell me about this urn.
Hang on, let's wait for the UPS truck to go. 'Cause that's about to happen.
I'm rolling anyway.
Yeah. Well, you can just drink in the good looks, I guess.
Yeah.
It's free. Take what you can.
Yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah.
Well, once this truck rolls by, I'll tell you.
They sent them in the K rations. I think you got 4 cigarettes and some toilet paper and some kind of food. I read
So
about
off
one.
they go. So, yes, we're talking about this delightful little urn, which Russell has a picture of, I'm sure, of cobalt blue.
I mean, the picture is not really particularly very good, but
Well, do you want me to pull it out?
pull it out and hold it and show it off like you did in the living room.
Okay, look, the backstory
It was given to you.
The backstory is this. I don't know if you can focus in on it to show the painting on the front or any of that. But basically, from about 1500, Europeans were kept in the dark about how the Chinese made their porcelain, which was almost translucent at times. It was so fine, and it was always white and blue. And for centuries they couldn't discover the secret. Then around about the latter part of the 18th century, the latter 1700s, a few Western centres of ceramic production actually discovered what it took, and it's basically a very specific mix of potash with kaolin and a particularly finely levigated clay, and it has to be cooked at put in the kiln at exactly the right temperature. Anyway, there's a long period of experimentation, but it happens really quickly, and by the later 1700s, very crude European earthenware has given way to very fine porcelain. Now, in Western Europe there were 2 major centres that first appeared. There was Dresden in Saxony in Germany, and that's a whole different chapter right there, Dresden ware. But down in France it was Sèvres, and Sèvres was just south of Paris, and basically came up with this sort of look of combining the cobalt with the gold, and usually with a fleur de roi or a fleur de lis or something like that. But a lot of gold, heavy gold decoration, hand painted wares, even signed. But the cobalt itself, which provides the glaze, is of the very finest blue, and you can see on the back how they haven't held back on the gold at all. So, you know, this is where they were heading. They weren't quite there yet, but at Sèvres they were making this sort of stuff for the French court, for the court of the Sun King and the aristocracy, which basically all collapsed with the French Revolution. Anyway, skipping along pretty quickly, after the French Revolution there was Napoleon, and Sèvres also supplied the porcelain for Napoleon, which was basically, once again, this very deep, rich cobalt blue with a lot of gold work. But with Napoleon, it's just blue and gold, blue and gold, blue and gold, and really sort of over the top pieces. Around about that time, when Sèvres was falling out of fashion, a region in the southwest of France called Limoges, which is a series of villages, also came up with the necessary deposits required to make fine porcelain. Most fundamentally, they needed kaolin, which you get in the southwest of France, just as you get in the southwest of England, in Cornwall. But that's where they started to develop this style of pottery. So this is Limoges pottery. It's like 1825. It's about 200 years old, and you can already see that they are the major suppliers to the European court. Everything is just fine gold, the finest cobalt that you can get, hand painting, even signed. So that is the essential piece that we have here, and it's just an absolute pleasure to the eye. It's
Well, what kind of, who signed it?
there was a painter called...
It's unsettling to see the Coca-Cola bottle with it.
There's a signature down the bottom, and I believe it says Buren. We know something about Buren. I mean, these porcelain manufacturing houses, they had numerous painters, and some got to sign their own paintings if they were...
I don't see a signature.
It's just there, where my thumb is, right there, in brown.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's real small. It's almost too small for the camera to pick up. Almost. Let's see.
But that's all part of the original.
Yeah, the light. I
Look.
need it in the... Yeah, I need to
It's
try
not
and catch it in the shade.
It's not a transfer, it's actually hand painted.
Yeah, I can see it myself with my eye, but this camera is not functioning the way I want it to.
But anyway, look, the other interesting thing about this particular piece are these handles, which are completely at odds with the shape of the urn, which is very curvilinear. And the handles, of course, are straight lines and right angles, which is Art Deco, Art Deco, Art Deco. And it turns out that indeed, around 100 years ago, right at the peak of Art Deco, it was very fashionable to take these older Limoges pieces and combine them and blend them with styles of the time. And that's exactly what we have here with the traditional...
Well, Art Deco goes back to the Egyptians, doesn't it?
I think when people talk about Art Deco, which as a French term which existed in fashion, it really emerged around the 1920s, between the wars. Before that it was all...
Yeah, but isn't it derived...
Art Nouveau or English arts and crafts, William Morris, that kind of thing. But I mean, it was, yeah, it might have drawn on elements that you find in Egyptian, drawings or paintings.
Since everything old is new again, and the aesthetics in the human heart are continuous as part of a reflection on the human condition.
Yes, and I think that's absolutely correct, and I think this piece is a manifestation of that very thing. You've got about 3 phases of building and origin, and they're all coming together in this object sitting here in...
We got to wrap it up because this is about the length of
Okay, 2020 AD. So anyway, that's a Limoges urn from around 1825. Very nice.
Yeah, I love it. This has been Bruce McLaren, my friend, author of Ode to Odin, Turbulence, and Heracles. But right now, I can only tell you that Ode to Odin is going to be around as a classic on every college instructor's office bookcase.
I wish you weren't so far ahead of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Send money.
Bruce McLaren, author.